What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. And today this is a follow-up to the last couple videos about your attention and being selective with what you give your attention to and the ways in which this is going to benefit you. So now we talked about in the recent videos, withdrawing your attention from what no longer serves you. We talked about how no longer like following the herd, how all these things are going to be very valuable. And the thing is, when you start to replace your attention with the things that weren't serving you, with these negative inputs, again, you replace them with a positive input. Now, again, let's look at some positive inputs. Let's look at some classic inputs. There's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. If you're interested in self-concept, that book is pretty much the OG, one of the OG self-concept books. He refers to it in the book as self-image, but it's talking about the same thing. It's the way that you see yourself in relation to reality, right? You pick up a book like that, now you are empowering yourself. Now you are putting your focus on something and information that when you apply it, you're gonna begin to see results. Let's say that you're watching these videos on my channel. Again, this is going to empower you. The information that I'm sharing here is going to empower you. It's going to inspire you. It's going to motivate you to begin showing up in that new way. Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, people from the classic self-help industry, they're also going to be empowering. They don't come at things from quite a spiritual perspective a lot of the times, but there is some spiritual stuff in their content. If you listen to some of their podcasts, they believe in a lot of this stuff too. But having a balanced approach, having a holistic approach where you're taking in all kinds of positive inputs. You might be reading The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. You might be learning about psychology. You might be learning about your diet. You might be dialing in your health, because then that's going to make you feel better. It's going to give you more energy throughout the day. All of these different things. You might get a workout routine. You might be doing meal prep. All of these things it's going to have a compounding effect, right? And you begin to take information from people that are providing you with positive inputs. Let's say that you're watching a channel about, the Mediterranean diet or, the paleo diet, and you're incorporating all these new foods that are actually, your gut health is improving. Your hormones are improving because you're eating better quality foods. You're eating some grass-fed beef. You're eating pasture-raised eggs. You're doing all of these different things. It's all having an effect. And so when you begin to take in this positive information that's fueling you, it's empowering you from a literal and a spiritual kind of metaphorical sense as well. Now you are really, really blessing yourself. You're really allowing those blessings to flow to you, because you are allowing those things to dwell. You are allowing your awareness to dwell on the positive, to dwell on your health, on your longevity, on your energy, on your vibrancy, on your buoyancy, your resiliency, your ability to bounce back from situations. When you take care of yourself, you get on a proper sleep schedule, now you're going to feel better. Now, whatever it is that you were going to do throughout the day, you're going to do it with that much more efficacy. You're going to do it with that much more competence. You're going to show up in a new way that's empowered by all the information that you've been taking in. So in NLP, this is a thing that Tony Robbins talks about, and it's very, very useful. There's this concept called modeling, and the idea being that it's very hard to do something if you do not know what that looks like, right? So let's say, you're picking up a sport. I use tennis a lot as an example because I'm a fan of tennis. I like tennis. I used to play it in high school. I played it recently. It's fun. And it's a sport that you can continue to do, throughout your life. Even when you're 67 years old, you can still hop on the tennis court, unlike a lot of other sports. You still can play some of those sports, but it's just, for me personally, it's kind of just more up my alley. So let's say that you want to improve your tennis game. Well, if you just get onto the tennis court and you're just kind of holding the racket like willy-nilly, you've never even watched, you've never even learned from somebody that knows what they're doing, the chances of you just holding that racket and hitting the forehand in the way that you're supposed to are like slim to none. So what happens when you're learning a new sport, when you're learning a new skill, the best way to accomplish that is by getting a mentor in that thing, somebody that has experience. This is why a lot of successful people pay for coaches. People will pay for a personal trainer. People will pay somebody to do mindset coaching, right? And so in order to, by withdrawing your awareness from the things that are not serving you and now shifting them onto the things that are serving you, even if you're not actually paying somebody, which, I actually would recommend. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars, probably over $100,000 in my life, just on my self-development, on my learning. And I'm going to incorporate, when I work on this course, I'm going to incorporate a lot of the pretty much everything that I've learned, that I've actually found useful or valid into my material. But regardless, when you invest in yourself, when you actually are paying a coach, or you are doing something, even if you're not paying a coach, even if you're just getting around somebody, but you say that you invest in the sense that you took a trip to go visit somebody that you could learn something from, right? All these things add up, right? And that's why, don't be, if you're going to invest your money in something, invest in that. Invest in being around somebody that's going to help you level up where you want to be. It's going to help you gain a new skill. That's going to, just by being around them, is going to help boost your confidence. Because, I've talked about this idea before, but we don't rise to the level of our desires. We fall to the level of our standards. And so naturally, another product of this, when you begin to remove your attention away from the people, places, and things that are not serving you, and you put them on the people that are serving you, you're naturally going to level up. It can be no other way, because as the tide rises, you're over here and you're now surrounded yourself by all this better information, all these different people now that are at a higher level of, maybe it's financially, or maybe now you surrounded yourself with people that are actually in healthy relationships, instead of your old friends, which were just toxic relationships all the time, constantly fighting, constantly breaking up, cheating on each other, that type of thing, right? Now you're around these people that have healthy, positive relationships. Well, now you're going to naturally start to begin to acclimate. And so that's the power of modeling, guys. Being around and taking in information, even if you can't get around somebody personally that is doing something, that is doing something at a level that you want to be doing, or getting a result in your life that you want, you can begin to take in their information. You can begin to listen to their podcast, Spotify, YouTube. A lot of this information is available for free now, guys. And so it's so awesome that we have that. And social media is a double-edged sword, because it's like, are we allowing it to use us, or are we using it? When we're mindlessly scrolling on these apps, that is when we are being used. That is when we fall into that sheep type category. When we take conscious control over what it is that we want to focus on, we type in, okay, I want to listen to Theo Vaughn, he's like a comedian. I want to listen to his podcast today, or I want to listen to Diary of a CEO, or I want to listen to Robert Greene's book today, or I want to watch one of Alex's videos, or I want to watch one of Sammy Ingram's videos, or Dylan James, or any of these people, right, that are actually going to give us some information that's going to help us. Now we are using the technology. The technology is not using us. So getting around these positive influences, getting around and beginning to model the behavior, even something as simple as, if you don't know how to communicate properly, or if you want to get better at public speaking, you can join Toastmasters. That's actually something that I've considered doing out here. I haven't actually gone to the meeting. I sent them like an email the other day, actually. But that is going to actually help you now, because now you're surrounding yourself by other people that are working on the same skill set, working on the same goal. Recently I've been going and working out. I've been boxing with a boxing coach, and he's showing me what I'm doing wrong. He's showing me like where I'm messing up and where I'm doing what I'm doing right? If I was to just simply try to practice shadow boxing in the mirror without taking in any information, again, like the likelihood that I'm going to actually start throwing punches that are right, with the right technique, that I'm actually going to be, using my body in the correct way, that my stance is correct, all of these things, that's just not going to happen unless I can model it. Unless I can see it being done correctly, then I can model it, and then I can enact it in the way that it's supposed to be done. So you can see this applies to almost anything. But yeah, if you want to do public speaking, getting around people that are good at public speaking. If you want to get better at your relationships, getting around people that have good relationships, or that are good at engaging with relationships, that are good at engaging with the opposite sex. Getting around people that are competent in whatever skill that it is that you're developing is going to be huge. So this is another way that we can kind of supercharge what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're looking to bring more of in our life, by, again, selective attention, selective focus on those things that are inspiring. And this could even go for something as basic as like a vision board, or looking at the positive things that you want to attract in your life, right? Because now you're focusing on that. You're focusing on, okay, yeah, it's making it more possible in your reality. Just seeing the fact that, oh yeah, you know what? It's actually not that much money to go to Thailand, or to go to Bali, or to do this, or to do that. And I actually, because I have a friend now that's done it, and I heard about their trip that they went on, now it's that much more real in my reality. Now it's that much more believable to my mind. And now I actually have the confidence to go ahead and book that plane ticket, to go ahead and book that flight, to go ahead and book that Airbnb that I've been putting off, right? And it's just in every facet of life. The more that we surround ourselves with what it is that we want, the people that we want, the places, the things, the ideas, the more that we dwell on those thoughts that are serving us, again, withdrawing our attention away from the stuff that doesn't. And it's like, again, you're focused on this old story. You're focusing on this old information, right? The information that hasn't been serving you. The more that you affirm, or the more that you select the new attention, this just gets pushed out of the way. You can't focus on how good your life is getting and, you know, all the opportunities that you have and all of the abundance that you're bringing into your life and how lucky and fortunate you are. And at the same time be thinking, oh, like, but, you know, you could think that and then revert back to your old story, but it's impossible to hold them both at once. Like, you can't be feeling good, be in a state of confidence and happiness, and be depressed at the same time. So just some more food for thought here. All of it, use all of it at your disposal. We're talking a lot about affirming here, but it's also like selective attention. It's also your physiology. It's also getting in the gym, taking care of yourself, taking care of your diet. And I personally, I like to come at all this from a holistic approach, because if there's something else that's going to benefit us, why not do that as well? Why limit yourself to only doing, let's say, like scripting or visualizing or affirming, when you can actually start to embody these things as well? You can start to create evidence for yourself that you're moving the ball forward. That's all going to help. All of this is going to come to your aid. And really, the entire idea of removing your attention from the old things, that's going to help, because now you're not canceling out your affirmations that you were giving yourself. If you're affirming that I'm this, I'm becoming stronger, I'm becoming more capable, I'm becoming better at my relationships, and then you go hang out with like your toxic, like your friends that are in this toxic relationship, and they're just trash talking the opposite sex the whole time, and they're just dragging their significant other through the dirt. What do you think that's going to do for your own mindset when you're ready to get into that relationship? Or for, let's say that you already are in a relationship, that for your mindset in regard to your partner. If you're constantly hanging around people that all they do is negatively talk about the opposite sex or their friends or whatever it is, any gossip of any kind like that, it's going to affect you. It's going to go into your conscious mind. Your mind is a sending and receiving station of thought. That's what you need to understand. It also receives the input that you're giving it. So really take control of this, guys. Really take control. Really start to curate your environment, and you are going to see a lot of changes by doing this, guys. Anyways, much love as always. Drop this with a like. Hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.